It's time to go into the next session, ladies and gentlemen. You know this person stepping up. Unfortunately, I don't have the honor of introducing him. But the one thing I can say is I truly believe a person is defined by their actions when no one is looking. When everyone's looking, it's all well and good. But when no one's looking, that's when it counts. Because this man, I was on stage in Delhi doing a gig, and he was on stage. And once he was done, he stepped off stage. And I said, "Thank you so much for joining us." This man turns around and says, "You are welcome. Thank you so much for having me." That doesn't happen too often. I've done a lot of gigs. That's happened twice in my career. Like I said, unfortunately, I don't have the honor of introducing this person. But I do have the honor of introducing the Snapchat man. Tanmay Bhatt, requesting you to kindly take stage.
How's it going, Bangalore? You guys good? Yes? All right. All right. We all know who's coming up next. We all know. We all know. And we all know you got to be loud to beat his loudness. But before that, I want to tell you a story about the first time I met Mr. Goswami. Guys, I'm ready to the story, all right? I was outside his office, right? And I'm nervous, as most people are before meeting him. He's an imposing personality, right? And I see a modest Toyota Corolla pull up right before me. And from inside, I could hear, "I'm on a highway to hell." And I'm like, whoa, who's this rock star coming to this office? And then the door opens, and out comes Mr. Arnab Goswami wearing goggles and shades, and the personality of an 18-year-old. And then I met him, and I realized he's truly one of the nicest, humblest people you meet off camera. He's so nice. He's incredibly nice. But something happens when you put on the camera. He is the voice of disruption. He speaks truth to power. Ladies and gentlemen, the Republic would like to call on stage Mr. Arnab Goswami!
Sit down, sit down, sit down, sit down. Listen, if you're not going to behave yourself, then I have some questions for you. Huh? Nation wants to know. Okay, say it loud for me. Say it loud for me. Say it louder than me. Now, come on. What does the nation want to know? What does the nation want to know? Can you say it louder than me? Okay, listen. Swalpa adjust madi. Swalpa adjust madi. I've used this line 5 times today. It's worked every time. Thank you, U25, you wonderful crowd, beautiful people. I've been out of TV for about a month and a half now. And I anyway felt you had enough of me, so I said I'll take a break. Should we stay away now? Should we come back? I will come back if you can tell me in one voice what the name of our channel will be. Once more. Republic. That's great. So who does this republic belong to? Yeah. Let me put this up here now. See, listen. Today we are in a platform in the heart of this beautiful city of Bengaluru. I love this city. I come here every time. I take long walks. There's something about the city that is pulsating. It is cosmopolitan. Something about Bengaluru makes me feel positive every time I am here. And I don't mind the jams. I don't mind anything. I don't mind anything as long as I have Koshis with me. As long as I have Kaveri with me. These are the two landmarks. I love this city. I don't know what I would do without a Bengaluru detox every 3 months to Koshi and Kaveri. I just love this city and I love you all. I thank you all for coming here today. I actually thought nobody would come because I asked the organizers, I said, listen, I usually have been coming and boring everybody at 9 o'clock every evening. I said, I'll come and ask you some questions. So you know what has happened in Bengaluru in the last few days, right? You know about it, right? And I'm seething. Are you seething? Yeah? And as I look at each of your faces today, I hope you feel restless and you're seething too. Are you? In fact, people tell me, why do you scream so loud? Why do you yell so much? And I said, in this country, if you don't scream, and if you don't yell, then nobody gives a damn. And that's why I scream. I want to know whether all those polite, highly disciplined, well-etiqueted and turned out journalists would be able to make a change when an incident like what happened in Bengaluru happened 2 weeks last night. I don't mind being ill-mannered, a little impolite, and if I could be loud in 1,000. Let me tell you that. Let me tell you that. I never missed being on air as much as I did last week. I never missed being on air as much. But I wanted to go out there and I wanted to say that what has happened in Bengaluru over the last 9 days. So I asked you, who does this republic belong to? In this city, 30 young women of Bengaluru were groped at, they were pawed at, they were molested. 1,500 policemen turned mute spectators, did they not? 5 kilometers from this spot, less than 5 kilometers from this spot where we have all gathered today, 30 young women were groped at and treated in a manner nobody should, no human being should. One young woman was forcibly kissed, attacked, flung on the road, and when she fought back, 2 men on a bike in Kamanahalli, is that the place, Kamanahalli? Right, in Bengaluru. All of it while cars zipped by. Right? Passers-by curiously walked by. Bikers fled by. And pedestrians looked on in all directions at the scene of the crime. And as I stand in this auditorium full of millennials, I feel in the bottom of my heart and in the pit of my stomach an irresistible amount of fury when I think about that sitting Karnataka Home Minister, G. Parameshwara, who blamed Christmas. And I want to know, where is the media of this country? Where are they? What do they find interesting? Shivpal Yadav, Akhilesh and Mulayam Singh Yadav? Where was the national media for the last 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen? Where were they? And these politicians say, Christmas is to blame, New Year's Eve is to blame, youngsters in Western clothes are to blame for molestation and violence against the women of Bengaluru in full public glare. So Bengaluru, I said I have some questions to ask you. Can I ask you some questions and you express your belief with me? Should the politician who blamed your choice of dressing not be questioned in the loudest voice? Should our voices not combine to silence that one man's regressive, patriarchal and misogynistic mind? Should the state machinery and every policeman deployed on taxpayer money not be made to quit their jobs for turning bystander when a mob of 60,000 people made you feel unsafe, then put you under attack in your city? People ask me, why are you launching Republic? This is the only reason why. And after this, I don't want anyone to ask me why I ask questions in a louder tone anymore. Because that's what I feel. Do you feel the same way, Bengaluru? Can I ask you a few more questions? Question number 2, Bengaluru, you asked for it. Who does this republic belong to was a question we were asked. Does this republic belong to the people who are simmering in anger over the last 8 days, Bengaluru? Or does this republic belong to those who have tried to hush up the MG Road, Brigade Road and Kamanahalli incident? Who does this republic belong to? Tell me. Does this republic belong to those who have been brainwashed to tolerate in silence? Or does it belong to those who have tried to raise their voice to deafening pitches to demand accountability and justice? Does this republic belong to these people who have pledged to toe the line, put their head down in dogged acceptance of the status quo? Or does this republic belong to those who have refused to let a lathi charge, a spate of Twitter abuse, and a threat from the corridors of power make them bow down in any way? Who does this republic belong to? Does it republic belong to them or to us? Should we claim the republic now? Have you had enough? And therefore, this republic, this channel that I am about to launch, this organization that we are about to build, and hopefully, by the grace of the God Almighty and your support, we will launch Republic in a few weeks from now. This republic for me is a movement. It's not a channel. And I have come before you today because one person can't do much. I have come to ask you for your support. Will you support me? This republic is not a media venture. This republic is a revolution. Remember it. In every breathing day, every second, every minute, what we put on air will be part of a people's revolution that will be backed by you. This republic is not mine. This republic is not one person's. It is yours. Each one of you in this hall today is who this republic belongs to. Me and my team are only your voice. Only your voice. I spoke in Delhi a few months ago, 5 days before I quit my last channel. And I spoke about an independent media. In the last 2 months, I have been thinking about what an independent media means in concrete terms for the future of India. Remember, you are the future of India. This country's future is yours. What I am placing before you today is a testament of my faith in you. It is my belief that when you will be my age, this country would be vastly different. We are a stepping stone. We will work very hard. We will take upon tremendous sacrifices. We will not yield to massive risks because we are investing something in the future of India. And that future of India is not mine. That future of India is yours. That future of India is the future of you 25, not 25 plus. This team will independently be your choice. I am asking you today, when no political party gives republics advertisements, will you support us? Because then I will take them on. Will you support us? When we walk the lonely path of idealism in our journalism, when people put obstacles in our path, I am asking you today, will you support us? Because that time is coming soon. When we say today that we will not take favors from political parties and make political parties answerable to us and not do what previous media in this country has done, which is take favors, money and large amounts of land from political parties, will you support us, please? I'm asking you today, because otherwise we cannot path alone. Over the last 10 years, people have asked me, what is the ingredient of your journalism? I want to share this with you today. What is the ingredient of my journalism? For me, journalism is not some academic theory. It's not rocket science. It's simply a list of do's and don'ts. It's not a narration of facts. People ask me, why don't you depend on facts alone? And I tell them, if I were to depend on facts, I would not be a journalist, I would be Wikipedia. Is refusing to accept anything as permanent. Journalism for me is challenging authority irrespective of the clout on the other side. Journalism is refusing to accept the status quo. Journalism is relentless questioning. From the highest political office to the biggest political superstars to the captain who may have won the biggest sporting award. No one is above question. That is my journalism. But above all, journalism is about one simple thing, a choice which we make in our daily lives. And that choice is simple. If you do a PhD in journalism anywhere, that choice is simply making the choice between what is right and what is wrong. On the one side, there is what is right. And on the other side, there is what is wrong. On the one side is black, and on the other side is right. On the one side are facts that you believe in, and on the other side are facts which you will not believe even if somebody sells it to you. And in the middle of right and wrong and white, we make many choices in the course of our journalism. For me, simply saying, stand with the right and oppose with the wrong is my journalism. Nothing, ladies and gentlemen, is grey in a news story. There are two sides of it. There is a right and there is a wrong. Every day as a journalist, all you need is the courage to identify the right and have the relentless courage to be proud of it, no matter who's on the other side. In 2010, we broke a story called the Commonwealth Games scam. Have you heard of the story? Do you know who broke the Commonwealth Games scam? Take a guess. Let me tell you a story and then we'll explain this, okay? On one day I got 2 sheets of paper with me. It was written 250,000 pounds pilfered from the organizing committee of the Commonwealth Games. And this was in London. Somebody found out that 500,000 pounds was spent, 250,000 pounds was filtered away. Now that's a corruption margin of how much? 50%, right? So we saw the story and we said, okay, in our typical style, let's make it give it a catchy headline, and we called it the Commonwealth Games scam. We had nothing, no idea, no papers. Soon we started getting phone calls after putting the story. And some people asked me, you put out the Commonwealth Games scam? I said, yes. You have the entire papers with you? And I always was told, in life you do anything, always remain confident and answer confidently. So I said, of course I have the papers with me. They said, of course, you have the entire papers to the entire 70,000 crore rupee scam. I said, yes, I have the entire papers to the 70,000 crore rupee scam. And the person said, okay, then I'll send you a little bit more. I haven't told the story all this while, but I'm sharing it with you. Then some other person said, "Kya aapke paas sare kagaz hain?" I said, yeah. And this person was from the Commonwealth Games organizing committee. I said, kagaz hai, so what are you going to do? I said, you know, usual part 2 tomorrow, part 3 day after, part 4. He said, how many parts do you have? I said, I have so many papers, I don't even know how many parts I have. So we broke the story called the Commonwealth Games scam. Next morning, a person called Suresh Kalmadi called a press conference. You heard of Suresh Kalmadi? He called a press conference, and I was sitting in my office in Lower Parel watching Suresh Kalmadi, and he was getting increasingly tense, nervous and angsty. Every time my reporter would ask him a question, he would snub the person and say, look here, this is not News Hour studio. Don't try and talk to me like that. Till almost after about half an hour, he'd almost thrown out all my reporters from the press conference. And I was looking at him in my room in Lower Parel in Mumbai, and I said, what's wrong with this guy? Why is he behaving like this? I only have a 250,000 pound, hardly, 1/100th% of a scam with me. Why is Suresh Kalmadi behaving like this? That is when we decided to start investigating the CWG scam. And thanks to Suresh Kalmadi, all the papers arrived at my door. So till date, when I asked this question, who broke the Commonwealth game time, Kargil for profit, Devas, ISRO, 2G, CWG, it was a string of scams that were broken for 6 months before a marketing genius called Arvind Kejriwal came and said that he broke the scams. And I told this marketing genius Arvind Kejriwal, in fact, I'm happy to offer him the marketing manager's job in our company. He's such a spin master. I told Arvind recently when he asked me, we broke the scams. I said, where were you? We were the ones breaking the scams. We were the ones taking the hit. We were the ones who were angry, and as we were reporting, people were getting angrier and angrier with us. People across this country were upset that there was such corruption in this country. And I remember on the 25th or so of January, or about the 10th of February 2011, we were called for a press conference at the then Prime Minister's office, which was itself breaking news because the then Prime Minister has decided to speak. Come on, guys, I can have a little fun sometimes, right? I can have a little fun. All this is on record. Oh, hell, man. Can you take the mic away? Anyway, I'm off air. It's okay. So Manmohan Singh is sitting in a press conference. There are 11 editors of the whole country sitting before him. And people are supposed to ask him questions, right? In a press conference, people are supposed to ask questions on your behalf. The whole country is raging on corruption. Entire country is raging on corruption. And at that point of time, from number 1 to number 11, all the editors start giving the Prime Minister advice. So some person says, the economics of this country is bad, the monsoons are not good, the trade deficit is like this. And Dr. Manmohan Singh very gravely nods, a very good suggestion, thank you, thank you. And editor number 11 even asked Dr. Manmohan Singh, if you don't believe me, go back and check the tape. Said, Pradhan Mantri ji, aapka Sachin Tendulkar ke liye koi message hai kya? Because the day before he'd scored a double century or something. And I was sitting there in 7 Racecourse Road, shocked beyond belief that across this country you can go out there and the only hashtag which matters is a hashtag called corruption. And these 11 editors before me, the high priests of Indian journalism, are asking rubbish questions to their only opportunity to the Prime Minister of India, Dr. Manmohan Singh. I just couldn't believe it. And those people, those same very people now want to give me a lecture about good journalism and bad journalism. When you find time, go back and check out the tape, because when my turn came and I almost had 4 bodyguards around me, more dangerous than those who just got me here, I asked the Prime Minister a question. He pulled out a piece of paper and he read an answer. You know what? I felt so satisfied that day. Because for 10 years in Lutyens, Delhi, I had seen the decay and near demise of this beautiful profession called journalism. Journalism had been compromised beyond belief. And it is for this reason alone that the only scam that was broken in independent India before the CWG scam was not broken from Lutyens, Delhi, but the Bofors scam broken by a brave lady called Chitra Subramaniam outside of Lutyens, Delhi. And which is why I say today, if there's anything which we must do, anything which you and I must do collectively is save Indian journalism from the influence of Lutyens, Delhi. Take journalism out of Delhi. Take journalism to Pune. Take it to Guwahati. Take it to Bengaluru. Take it to Mumbai. But take it out of the national capital of India, because they are so damn compromised. They are so co-opted beyond belief. They have no right to represent you. The choice between right and wrong is a very simple and essential choice. Let me share with you 3 stories. a 29-year-old lady called Trupti Desai. Have you heard of her? Have you heard of Shani Shignapur? Did you know that women are not allowed into that temple? Do you know that if it is said that some great ill will befall both the woman and the men in her family? As if the only purpose of women is to defile places of worship. Did you see the pictures of Trupti Desai protesting, being pulled at by policemen, and fighting and screaming for a movement that then began to be known as the Right to Pray? Have you heard of the Right to Pray movement? If in my 12 years in my last organization, it is one story that I am so proud of, it is only the Right to Pray story. It's the story which makes me feel that we did something right. That story was a simple choice between right and wrong. Why should women of any age not have the right to pray where they wish to? From Haji Ali to Shani Shignapur to Sabrimala. So my question to you is, should we compromise when it comes to being courageous to stand with what is right, even if it comes at the cost of challenging religion? Can we challenge religion in this country if required? Tell me. We play safe. I believe in a choice between right and wrong, black and white. There is nothing that can come in the way. No politician, no person in a position of power, and absolutely no religious leader. The only religion that matters is the religion which unifies us all beyond everything else, which is the religion of what is right and wrong. And every religion believes, in every religion, Hinduism or Islam or any religion, there is right and wrong. I stand before you today. I respect the profession that I believe in, and I want to place what is right and wrong before you. It is the same belief that makes me ask some fairly controversial questions. So we ask about an atrocious, regressive, and sexist tradition like triple talaq. Never questioned in this country before. And I ask before you today, why should I not question the concept of triple talaq as aggressively as I question the right to pray in Haji Ali, Shani Shignapur, or Sabrimala? These pretenders who call themselves the high priests of journalism in Lutyens, Delhi, will they teach me secularism? What is secular in this country? Secularism is the right and the honesty to believe and question every religion, regardless of right and wrong. I remember, and I'm asking you today, on what premise should a woman be WhatsApped her divorce on the whims and fancies of a man? And why should we, in 2016, standing before a U25 audience, not ask ourselves, what is the status quo and what is the legal sanction behind the principle of triple talaq? So when a former policeman comes on my show and questions Shazia Ilmi for being against triple talaq, and you know what he told her? There was this confrontation between a Maulvi and Shazia Ilmi. Did any of you see it? And you know, when Shazia Ilmi fought back, and fought back hard, at the end of it, the religious leader told Shazia Ilmi, Huliya badal do, which was a personal and aggressive attack on her. I'm asking you today, why should we not question those people who have given themselves the right to silence us? And I'm asking this audience this question today. And there is a personal reason behind why I am asking you this question. Because I am before you today not just to ask for support for Republic. In my heart somewhere, deep within, I know that you will support me. I'm not here to ask you for support for Republic alone. I'm telling you, don't let what happened to us happen to you. Don't let what happened to us happen to you. We saw the Mandal Commission agitation. We entered college on good degrees and good marks, and we believed in merit. We believed in anything but caste. But when we entered college, we were reminded of our caste by these same politicians. Don't let that happen to you. Just don't let it happen to you anymore. I remember by the time we were in third year, second year, third year, we suddenly were reminded of our religion. And I remember driving back after watching a late night show from Chanakya Cinema back to Hindu College in Delhi, and you drive to Chandni Chowk area, and we were stopped. And all of us were there on bikes, and we were wearing bandanas. They were very famous at that time. And we were stopped by the policemen. And they told us, where are you going? So we said, we are coming from a late night show. And they told us that you should not be coming out at night today. I said, what's wrong? They said, don't you know? Babri Masjid gira diya. And I'm telling you this today. It affected us. When you have politicians throw caste and religion at you, to divide you, to use you, they will do anything to use you. They will do anything for their personal interest. They will break you down. They will reduce you to your caste, your religion, your community. But I just want to ask you today, will you let that happen to you? I want to hear a louder cry. I want to leave this room with the belief that this audience of young Indians will not let politicians divide them, break them up, and use them like they have been used to doing so for decades. Regardless of what you do, I am not here to ask you to watch Republic. I believe I'll do what I believe in, but don't let that happen to you. And this young man who invited me, this very handsome young man called Tanmay Bhatt. I love him, don't you? You don't like him? You like him? I like him. You love him? They love you, Tanmay. We love you too. You know, when there is a drought going on in Maharashtra, and when people don't have water for their fields and water to drink, and when some of these politicians, in their manicured gardens, with Scandinavian water pumps, delicately throw large amounts of water for their golf course type manicured lawns, these same politicians are very upset with Tanmay Bhatt. And I asked a question. You remember Tanmay? You remember that, Tanmay? Sometimes truth comes to you in sound bites. For me, truth comes to me sometimes in 3 or 4 words. That day on News Hour, you still remember the show? Should we bring it back? That day on News Hour, I asked a question to a politician. I said, tell me, what is more important, Snapchat or drought? There's no answer. They went after Tanmay Bhatt because they didn't want to talk about drought. They went after Tanmay Bhatt because they wanted to continue to watch IPL matches in finely manicured grounds with a lot of water wasted there, as well as in their manicured lawns and on their manicured golf courses. And because they were too embarrassed and they were worried that people like me would embarrass the hell out of them, they went after one guy called Tanmay Bhatt for 4 days. Now, was that fair? Don't let what happened to Tanmay Bhatt happen to you. Will you promise me that today? So there is a right and there is a wrong. And as I stand before you and as we interact today, it is they who we offend. They who we together make uncomfortable. They are afraid of you. Do you realize that? They are afraid of your generation. Because your generation truly, from what I've seen, doesn't give a damn when it decides not to. Your generation will question everything which needs to be questioned, won't you? Your generation, from what I have seen, regardless of who, what or where, those who questioned are sitting will question them. They can be in the highest of chairs and with the most loaded Swiss bank or Benami accounts, but they will not deter, they will not shake, they will not make you stumble. On the contrary, they will deter, they will shake, they will stumble, and they will stutter because you have the courage now to relentlessly question the wrong, to question everything that you don't agree with. So coming back to journalism, why should we shy away from defending identifying what is black and what is white. So I want to tell some people who have been keeping a hawk eye on me, and a lot of people are keeping a hawk eye on me these days, because with the announcement of Republic, let me tell you, we're making a lot of those Lutyens Delhi guys uncomfortable. And I want to tell them something today, and I hope they are listening. I reject your journalism. I just reject it. If your journalism is grey, then I reject your journalism. If your journalism dwells on being a passive bystander, then I reject your journalism. If your journalism pushes you into silent mode, nobody will accept your journalism. But most importantly, I also want to ask that on the 27th of December last year, this same man called Suresh Kalmadi, the man famous for the CWG scam, was made life president of the Indian Olympic Association. Did you know that? I mean, give me a break. I resigned on the 18th of November, and I find out that on the 27th of December, this man is back as life president of the Indian Olympic Association. I'm asking you today, what's happened to the media in this country in the last 2 months? Do you accept a media in this country who keep quiet about Suresh Kalmadi's return as life president of the Indian Olympic Association? Or do you feel a sense of shame about it? Do you accept a media that hides it in the inside pages of their newspapers? Do you accept a media that refuses to camp day and night in protest against the mass molestations in Bengaluru, but went obsessive about a 43-year-old chief minister's fight with a 61-year-old uncle, a staged fight, mind you, that his 77-year-old father Mulayam Singh Yadav does not approve of? I mean, what is wrong with the media in the last 2 months? Tell me, Bengaluru. Tell me. Tell me, U25, what is wrong with the media in the last 2 months? Something is seriously wrong with this media in the last 2 months. Is a political fight in Uttar Pradesh more important than the mass molestations that happen on MG Road in Bengaluru? How can the media let a crook, and I'm going to call him a crook once again, and let him sue me once again, Suresh Kalmadi? How can the media let a crook like Suresh Kalmadi? And Mr. Kalmadi, watch me. You threatened to sue me a few years back. You're welcome to, no problems. Beyond a point of time, I will not mind my language. Beyond a point of time, I will not hold back my words. And beyond a point of time, I will not be threatened. And the reason I have come out on my own, and I have with me a bunch of young crusaders in journalism, and we are out there to break the rules of journalism. And I want to tell each one of them today, that I have the support of the people and I'm not scared. But how can Suresh Kalmadi be awarded after breaking the biggest scam in this country? I mean, not breaking it, creating that big scam in this country. I don't know. The fear of the media is gone. We will bring back that fear. And we'll bring the focus back on you in Republic. So as I close today, and I'm going to close, don't worry. You guys must be thinking that this guy, he's hungry. He's not been in front of a TV for a month and a half. He's got the camera before him. He's not going to go away. Eventually, Tanmay Bhatt is going to have to come away and lift me away. Tanmay, stay there. Stay there, Tanmay. I'll give you your cue. People tell me, what is Republic for? Who is Republic for? But I also want to tell you who is Republic not for. I'll tell you in my closing who is Republic for and who is Republic not for. And I will leave this stage today with some answers. Republic is for the 18-year-old who studies tirelessly day in and night to stand in a line to fill a form so that he fills a seat that he has earned and worked hard for. That is what Republic is for. Republic is not a politician's son who sits in a lal batti and gets a front seat no matter what his record is. And you also know that anyway I don't get along with most politicians' sons. Republic is for those people who stand up for the national anthem. Republic, I'm sorry, I'm very conventional here. Republic is not for those people who believe it's a fashion statement to sit down when the national anthem plays. Republic is for those people who stand by the armed forces of India when they gun down the terrorists. Republic is not for those who believe it is a movement to be grey about those who sponsor those terrorists and say we'll be neutral between India and Pakistan. Republic is for those people who believe in the power of change, no matter how long or how hard the struggle is. Republic is not for those who refuse to redefine the status quo on the basis of tradition. Republic is for those who believe in disruption, those who pride in disruption, and those who fight for disruption. Republic is for the citizen who believes that his voice, her voice, and our voice are the only voices that matter. Republic is not for those who sit behind locked up doors, creating layers of hierarchy and distance between you and them. And to all those people who are now working very hard to stop me because they know there are a few weeks to go for the launch of Republic. And I know, and I'm saying this to you today, there are attempts made to stop us, to say somehow let us not let Republic launch. And I want to tell those people today, and powerful forces and powerful people and powerful media groups, that Republic is unbreakable and Republic is unstoppable. So I want you to hold up your hands and answer a few questions that I have for you today. And if you believe in me, raise your hands today. Will you back Republic when we run behind the politicians to ensure that accountability is back in your hands? Will you back me? Will you back Republic when we fight for merit on your behalf? Will you back Republic when a big corporate media house activates its dirty tricks department to go after young independent journalists who want nothing but their independence and their right to do an independent job? Will you stand by me then? Will you back Republic when we go after the police that turns bystander in MG Road? Will you back Republic when we relentlessly question the state machinery who went through 40 CCTV cameras but didn't find a single iota of evidence of the mass molestation? Will you back me then? And finally, will you back me, and will you back my team, and will you back Republic when we independently say that we are answerable to nothing and nobody but you? Only you. Please support Republic. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Has the Republic missed Mr. Arnab Goswami? Is the Republic ready for Mr. Arnab Goswami? Are we ready to question Mr. Arnab Goswami now? All right. Let's settle down. We have him for a few more minutes. Let's settle down. All right. So, from asking the nation if they want to know, to CEO of a startup, Arnab, how is the change treating you?
Editor-in-chief of a startup, Tanmay. I have not changed my role. Never will. The change is beautiful. The change is beautiful, Tanmay, and I'm saying this because sometimes when you see people like them responding to you like that, you really think that somewhere in the core of your heart, somewhere in your life, I must have done something right. And you know, I've done a lot of things wrong, a little less than you, Tanmay. But must have done something right to get so much love. So much love. Thank you.
It's been more than a decade now, Arnab, and I believe this was one of the first times where you've had time to relax. Does Arnab Goswami relax?
Does he know the word chill? Can you Netflix and chill, Arnab, ever? Is it possible?
Oh man, Tanmay, of course. You remember the cameo I did for you?
Yes. You guys remember the cameo I did for us?
Oh man. Tanmay, if I meet you more often, I'll chill. I say today I feel like chilling after coming here today. Because you know, when you launch something new, you always ask, how's it going to work? How are people going to react? I know that it's going to go out well. So I'm very chill today. Today, I say, what is the date today, Tanmay?
Today is the 8th.
Today, 8th of January 2017. I'm completely chilled, man. Completely chilled. Completely.
Now, this is a personal question, Arnab.
Yeah.
I'm asking this for completely, entirely personal, selfish reasons. Why are politicians so afraid of comedians? What is it that makes them so afraid?
I know I interviewed a person sometime in January 2014. I've been also asking the question to myself ever since. The interview went off well. For me. I mean, I'm not presuming the interview didn't go well on the other side. Actually, come to think of it, I've never asked Tanmay how it went for the other side. I'm doing okay, Tanmay. I'll give you a few tips, but in private.
All right. All right. Arnab,
Tanmay, you're beginning to enjoy this, my friend. You're settling down. I know your body language.
I am. It's a question that I'm asked often about you, Arnab. Are you not afraid? Are you not afraid? Why are you not afraid? You should be. Right?
Oh, sir, Lord and Master, I'm very afraid, sir. I'm quaking in my boots, sir. What's there to be afraid, Tanmay? You live life once. Were you afraid? Were you afraid, Tanmay? Heart of heart, tell me, are you afraid? You've been through enough, haven't you? Are you afraid?
Not anymore.
Yeah. I'm
Not
right
anymore.
with you, Tanmay. Don't worry. I'm not afraid because you live life once. I want to remember my life as moments and my profession as still frames, Tanmay. When I leave this profession, I will not be measured by my ratings or the advertising this channel got or whatever. I will be measured by moments like this. This is my moment. And okay, Tanmay. So I'm also going to remember this in terms of what we contributed, right? What we did from the bottom of our hearts, whether we did well or we did badly. And somewhere I feel this is just the time. And if this is the time, should I hold myself back thinking of threats, this, that? I mean, who's going to do anything to me, Tanmay? And can you imagine if someone takes a shot and misses, how much hell I'm going to give them after that? Is it okay? I mean, imagine me that night at 9 p.m. I don't want to give anyone ideas, but...
You can say goodbye to the mute button that night. It's rendered useless. I have one question that everyone keeps wondering, you know. Why do Pakistani generals still say yes to coming on a debate? Why? It makes... Why would you put yourself through that consistently?
Me, myself, I don't, but they put themselves.
Yeah, why would they keep saying yes?
It's a very important question, Tanmay, that you asked. I've also been thinking about it. I tell you a little secret. I was told that some of them are refusing to come on the same channel of late because they are missing me. Isn't that sad? We'll get them back, Tanmay. I don't know why they come. I think they enjoy themselves. I think they have a good time. And I think they like this pugilistic fight which goes on. But trust me, we don't hate each other. There's the points which they take and the points which we take, and that's it. I think we speak from our position, they speak from theirs. And I think we usually speak better than them, don't we? And we make our point. and we sometimes show them their place. And someone's got to show them their place, right?
Well,
there are enough peacemakers. Listen, I'm not a dove sitting somewhere in between.
Arnab, are you ready to take questions from the Republic?
Can I have some water, please?
Is the Republic ready to ask questions to Mr. Goswami?
Okay.
All right. Do we have any mics going around? Do we have any mics
man.
going around? Arnab, do you want to pick someone? Should I pick someone? I'll just pick someone.
You pick someone, yeah?
All right.
Tanmay picks, yeah?
The gentleman over there. The gentleman over there. Can we pass a mic? Can we pass a mic to him?
Tanmay is choosing, so anyone who is not getting chosen for asking a question, please meet him after the...
Yeah, just don't file an FIR. That's it. Everything else is fine. Just don't take me. Just my lawyer's on retainer, but still.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
It's an honor to interact with you. I'd like to thank the Under-25 organizers for giving us this
Thank you.
opportunity.
Good talking to you. Where are you from?
Sir, I'm from Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, sir, my question is firstly related to demonetization vis-a-vis the media, right? So, most of our perspectives about demonetization are from our personal experiences relating to it. And a large part of it is also formed by what the media conveys to us on television and through other mediums, right? Now, I would like to know your perspective about how the media has handled the entire episode since the 8th of November, and how could, if it could have been, how could have it been handled in a better way?
So, thank you for your question.
Asking better questions than most of the media is.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Tanmay. Okay, now listen, I'm not taking a vote on this. I'm not in elections, so don't boo me and cheer me. I'm just saying what I feel. I think demonetization is a good thing in the long term. And I think that we must not just take a very short-term view. You see, if you come to me and I'm standing outside an ATM, and I stood outside ATMs, and I'm waiting, and there are 51 people ahead of me, and it's going very slow, then I'm going to be irritated. At that point of time, somebody comes and tells me and asks me that very incisive and well-researched question, which has been asked for the longest time immemorial in Indian journalism. Sir, how do you feel? I mean, is this all you can ask? Now, I take a slightly long-term view. I said it on the 8th of December. If you remember, I ran back to do my show after having quit. And I said it firsthand. I said it that day. I'm saying it now. Medium-term, long-term, it is good for India. Because, like Arvind Kejriwal is against demonetization. And I don't know why he is. Because he should know you can't pay bribes through Paytm. Have I answered your question? So it's my view in the long term. About what I think about the media, can I meet you right after the show? We'll have a private conversation.
All right. Let's go on the right. Let's go on the right.
I've got a question.
Okay?
Ma'am, can we pass the mic to her? Can we pass the mic to her? Pass now. Let's give a lady a chance. All right. Hashtag feminism. Let's do it. Go ahead, ma'am.
Hi.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Honor again to be interacting.
Where are you from?
I'm from Bangalore,
Oh, nice.
budding journalist.
Oh.
So, because being a budding journalist, we have 3 TVs in our offices on, and we're watching like 3 news channels. Every news channel, no matter what, is flashing with breaking news. Every news is breaking news. And that's my problem. Because I just want, with the new channel, can we expect little less of graphics and more of real news?
Are you not missing the fire?
The burning question fire. No, definitely not missing that.
Not missing the burning question.
Missing the fact that you all ask questions, definitely.
Yeah.
The quality of the show, totally good, but flashing everything, every second.
So when we come back, and we are going to come back with Republic,
Yeah.
I can assure you that we will give you the most compelling stories, well-researched way. We will set the agenda. we will set the standard so that someone like you who's a budding journalist looks up to us. So we'll work very hard for that. In fact, my only purpose in life, and when I left my previous organization, they asked me, why are you leaving? I said, so that there's a second source of employment for English news journalists. That's why we created the last channel. This time, I want to bring back a sense of hope and idealism in young journalists like you. So we'll work very hard to keep the faith. But just one thing I want to tell you is that you would acknowledge that our ratings or viewership, whatever we have got over the years, is not because of doing Saap Siri and the world is going to come to an end. We've done serious journalism. So we'll do more of it and we'll try and live up to your expectations. Thank you.
All right, we're going to go to the left. Now we're going to go to the left over there. The gentleman in blue, please stand up. Yes, can we pass the mic? Pass the mic. But while the mic goes, Arnab, I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
How does it feel being someone who went from reporting the news to almost becoming the newsmaker or becoming the news? What is that like when you go from being the one who speaks about the news and then being the news yourself?
It's unreal, man. I'll tell you. I'll give you one example. So there was this one day when I was driving down in a Scorpio on the Bandra Worli Sea Link.
Was it a Lamborghini? Are you sure?
No, I'm telling you. So I was going in a Scorpio on a Bandra Worli Sea Link, telling my driver, don't go below above 60, let's drive safely. And this Lamborghini goes past me at some 400 kilometers per hour and then zips back and then we duck and we almost die and I go back and I'm very angry. And I tell my driver, please stop. And I saw 2 traffic policemen. And they said, I asked them, why aren't you stopping this madman? He's driving up and down. He's going to kill a few people. They said, you know, nobody files a case against the Lamborghini owner because we are going to get few phone calls in a few minutes to release the Lamborghini. So I said, never mind, I'm going to file a case. And I went like a conscientious citizen and I stood next to the Lamborghini and I called the policeman. I filed my report. I went to Worli police station. And even today, I get the calls from the police station, not the Lamborghini owner. But guess what the story was the next morning? The story was that Arnab caught finally speeding his Lamborghini down the Bandra Worli Sea. So it's quite bizarre.
Was that the inspiration behind the AC/DC Highway to Hell entry? Are we ready with the next question? Yes, sir, go ahead.
Good evening. So my question is about how the news media is controlled by state-sponsored propaganda or political parties spreading propaganda through news TV channels. So how does it affect a country like India, and how is it dynamic, and how is it different from other countries? Because we are a young generation going up, and probably we are divided on political lines because of these media spreading propaganda.
See, one is that I've not spread any propaganda over the years. Actually, people wouldn't like me to spread propaganda because if I say good things about the politicians, nobody's going to believe it anyway, so nobody asks me. But Republic is a journalist and content creator run and managed news organization. In that sense, it is independent India's first such venture in the 21st century. This is your century. So if I have to do my work in your century, I need your support. I'm fully aware that I will do my work completely away from politicians like I've done in the past. So you can believe me, but I really can't speak for others. But I think somewhere we'll have a domino effect. Because if we do our work and we do well, then I think the others will follow us. That's as much as we can do.
A second question. I'm sorry I'm letting on.
This is the last one. This is the last one. We'll take the last one. That's it.
Is the Republic going with Rupert Murdoch as a backer? Because if it's Rupert Murdoch, then Fox News comes into the picture and we see the journalism from Fox News. So are we going something that way or no?
No. Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Don't you have faith in me?
Don't we? Do we? All right. Arnab, thank you very much for taking time out.
And thank you, everyone.
I hope you're successful in living up to all the ideals. And thank you for all the support. And ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Mr. Arnab Goswami.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much. I love you all. Thank you. Thank you.